Okay, good evening everyone. Sorry for the delay, but it looks like we are getting ready to start now. Tonight will be Division 2 match between KittyKat Crusaders and the Super Unstoppabros. Both of these teams 1-0 currently in the league, so looking to see what they will show for us today. Looking at map pick and ban, we do have the cats with the map pick. First up is Towers of Doom. They banned away Volskaya and Sky Temple. Super Unstoppabros banning Dragonshire and Brax's Holdout. Towers of Doom is a little bit interesting because I did some looking into these teams, and the more interestingly was the bans actually against some of them. We did see a bit of Sergeant Hammer banning against Unstoppabros, and we saw Mephisto against the KittyKats. This is their map choice, so I don't know if we're going to see Mephisto or Towers of Doom, but it would be interesting to see nonetheless. Right, so I want to know what happens to the Sergeant Hammer, because in the Unstoppabros first game of the league, banned away both games, first ban. And Towers of Doom is absolutely a map you can do some shenanigans with the hammer. Very frustrating to play against, so I mean, you've already banned Kobe to try and set up for a potential hammer pick, I would assume, so are we going to see it just as the first ban here by the cats? Wouldn't blame them. We also saw Valor high priority for the Unstoppabros. Murloc getting that in game number 1, banned away in number 2. Stukov for ban now for the time being. So we saw Sergeant Hammer bans, we've seen Mephisto bans, but we're not seeing any of that yet. Hogger going to be taken away by the Unstoppabros, and it will be the cats that ban Mephisto as their second ban here. Sergeant Hammer, of course, not a hero you first pick. Valor will be, though, for the Unstoppabros. Need to see what they want to pair it with. You can do all sorts of things on Towers of Doom. Not a map you normally do big rotations on to clear the minions, so it's easier to pick up things like Uther main tanks or other such shenanigans. Try and give that Valor as much healing as possible, just to keep on bullying, keep on stacking again, be a menace as the game goes on. Picks now for the cats are Dahaka and Hanzo. Hanzo, I'll say this every time, absolutely obnoxious, nearly unplayable for Valor in an isolated 1v1. Hanzo trades better in bursts. Hanzo has more range. Hanzo has engage from annoying angles, potentially with the Dragon Arrow. Valor can only do... Valor can't do much about it. All you can do is sit back, try not to take too much damage, and wait until level 13, level 16, level 20 towns kick in, at which point the Hanzo has to run scared of you instead. It will be Diablo and Anduin from the Unstoppabros. Anduin pick immediately the KittyKats. Genji ban. They don't want to see any sort of light bomb shenanigans so easily headed their way. But with the Anduin pick, I'm already feeling scared for Valor. And we're not the greatest at single target healing. Quite light on the healing compared to some of the other members of support roles, so Spark could have a really big influence on this game. Tyker's banned away by the Unstoppabros to protect Diablo. This leaves Galosh open, which in my eyes is a very difficult matchup for Diablo if he doesn't play W build. If W goes for W, then it can be managed though. Right Ring there for the easy follow-up as well on the Galosh flips. Nice pairing in general. There's the Sergeant Hammer we talked about. One interesting thing about Anduin pick is that it did bait a Genji ban. So Hammer managed to make it through the draft. Li Ming here as the final pickup to try and deal with this, but I'm looking at the drafts here and Unstoppabros basically got what they've been playing in their first game of season. KittyKats, in fairness to them, they've also been playing a lot of this Galosh Brightwing combo. Galosh with a bit of speed with the big healing from Brightwing and the follow-up. It is a very simple pairing and can pick up a hell of a lot of kills if people aren't careful about it, so they also got what they wanted, but Sergeant Hammer and Vala could reign supreme if the game drags on. We'll be looking very carefully at the Hanzo and Li Ming to try and prevent such things from happening. In any case, game number 1, Towers of Doom. On the left hand side, KittyKat Crusaders. Zephyro playing Dahaka. Spark playing Hanzo. Oni Knights playing Li Ming. Outrageous playing the Galosh. And Sky playing Brightwing. I don't have all chat. Bastard. On the right hand side, Super Unstoppabros. Well, Murloc. God, how am I gonna pronounce this? Murloc Racket. Your Murloc for today, buddy. Will be on Sergeant Hammer. Sid will be playing Vala. Dami will be playing Diablo. Lucas will be playing Anduin. And Varus will be Blaze. We see AA build coming out from Hanzo. This is brilliant. Makes it so... You're already doing good trades against the Vala. If you can follow up with a second order attack as well, once Redemption is finished, the short trades become even more lopsided than they originally are. Murloc using the armor, going to be okay for the time being. We're seeing Spark moved out to clear the middle, and Outrageous and Friends blocking off the path here. The Sergeant Hammer can be difficult to push through, but Sid just walks up and says, I will be going to bottom lane, and Dami will take whatever damage is necessary for me to get there. Big rotation advantage at the moment for the blue team. Camp spawning in just a few seconds. Not seeing a movement towards it yet. Oh, this is really painful for Murloc here on Sergeant Hammer, taking the long route around to clear the mid lane. You're already slow enough on the rotations of Sergeant Hammer, but having the better wave clear from advanced artillery, red team deciding they want Sergeant Hammer clearing the waves regardless of the rotation speed. Currently 3 members of the red team clearing the sappers as a result. KittyKats, they have the Harkin already finished. They're now looking for the invade. This is a quite simple play they're looking for here. Diablo going to get the stun though, buying just enough time it seems. Both offlaners were middle, so no burrow advantage for the cats as well. Nice positioning on the map there by Blaze. Spark has gone for a lot of mana already. Wonder how that happened. I'm guessing it's been Sonic error off cooldown. You shouldn't get through Scatter that quickly. Sappers crashing mostly into the red wall. Now, blue team are going to clear theirs out. Li Ming Arcane are pretty good at preventing it. Almost getting that topped out tower. Have the cats. Not seeing... Okay, we are having Outrageous move towards the mid lane here, but Galosh can't do a lot to clear lane. Presence alone is enough to scale off theirs actually. This is quite interesting. Galosh showing middle, scaring away the Blaze while both of the damage dealers reset to get some mana. Nice bluff by the KittyKats actually. This does give time for the Unstoppabros to set up a bit. Spider Mines and whatnot were placed, but going to be pushed back a bit now. The Harker's in the middle while Blaze is top. We might see a collapse here by the cats, but quite safely tucked away are the Unstoppabros at the moment. Hammer's sieged up by the Sapper camp. Not in range to stop the interrupt here now on right wing, but Diablo's going to grab that one. Both offlaners grabbing their top points, and in comes the dig from the Hucker. Throw onto Dami, Unstoppable on Outrageous for the time being, but Diablo going to walk out by the looks of things. Drag does not connect, finds Blaze instead. Stunned by Gauch on the backline. Big damage being done now by the Cats. Murloc not going to get hit by that scatter. Luckily enough, that could have been quite painful. Early skirmish goes the way of the KittyKats though on the bottom point. As I said, this is to be expected. Val weakest in the early game. Small quest update. Hanzo nearly finished with Redemption. Vala going for W build. We'll see how useful this is. Are we potentially going to see a play for Strafe and the Infinite Strafe for level 20? Not the easiest for Blue Team to find the interrupt. Presumably, well, Brightwing obviously has the Polymorph, but wants to be using that to follow up on Gauch's crowd control, which would make no one really able to find the interrupt on the Strafe. Opposite will be the level 7 town of choice, which really makes me think it is going to be a Strafe play. If you're going for W, you might take Frost Shot. Phase shift up to the top lane. They are fighting for the top camp here. Going to be taken by the Cat. In the meantime, not much can be done by the Unstoppabros. Zapper's already cleared out. They haven't started theirs though. Sky's gonna sit top lane for the meantime. We'll have the global before the Hucker, having Hyper Shift level 1, reducing the phase shift cooldown. They could go for a cheeky collapse, but it will be Sepho walking up top lane. Full wall now down for the Unstoppabros at a half level XP deficit as well. Oh, they're just sitting in the bush, but the rest of the team clearing out with Sapper is going to need to back away from that one. Sledgehammer pretty good at checking these bushes. Gets better at level 10, assuming we do see the Napalm Strike. I mean, going for a mixed bag on the talents at the moment. We see Orb at level 4, but it will be Seeker level 7. Throw now onto Lucas. No groundbreaker to follow up though. Brightman gets the Polymorph. Going to get knocked away by Sledgehammer, so there's no body block on Lucas. Going to walk that one out. Varus also taking a bit of damage, and Diablo will go down to Oni Knight. First kill of the game. Soul Shield. Don't know if it only just now came up or wasn't used, but in any case, Li Ming finding enough damage to get that kill. I'm going to start throwing some spells onto the bottom. Arrow coming in from Hanzo, Unstoppable from Murloc, going to prevent more coming from that one. There's Decimate from Outrageous. No taunt plays from them. Everything else about as we would expect it is Disintegrate from the Li Ming. Might encourage the Diablo Dami to go for Apocalypse as there's no interrupt on it, but goes for Lightning Breath anyway, the standard when you're playing the W build. Can do a lot of work when you have the slows and the spell power of the Lightning Storm, but in comes Dami. They really want to fight for this point to do the Unstoppables, but throw out on the Light Bomb by Outrageous. Nicely done. It is indeed straight from Vala, but already chunked down quite low. Sepho thrown in to try and find the dragon, but everyone is already out of range. Keeping on looking though with the speed, not able to find Lucas though. Throw onto Diablo once again, pulled away to safety. Not going to get isolated. BFG from Sergeant Hammer was used just there. Sappers making their way towards this bottom fort, and you have to imagine they will be connecting. All three of them are going to do so. No, actually, Dami gets the stun on one of them, but going to pay for it. Diablo falling will spend the souls, and the timing's not too bad on that. No neutral objectives to be contested, so got some time to build up the soul counts before there's another big brawl in the mid lane. Sid moving up to take the top capture, but with Valo showing up there, it's so easy for the Cats to stay on the siege here. Oni Knight with one more wave of spells, is able to find the bottom fort. XP needs to be grabbed on the mid lane here. Varus has rotated down. I wonder if we're going to see any further map movements from the Unstoppabros here, or whether just covering off from a Dahaka invade. Dahaka, speaking of which, is just going to get the top camp again, so offline control been quite nice for the KittyKats. First time they get the top camp using Brightwing Global, and now Dahaka getting it just from the team's pressure. And playing up at the moment are the Cats. They're quite happy with the map state at the moment, just looking to prevent Murloc and friends from retaking this fort. As long as they take control of it, they'll be in a good position for the mid to late game. Just over level advantage now to our blue team here. Bit of fighting up in the off lane. The Dahaka certainly stronger in the 1v1, but Blaze has the wave clear and mobility to ignore the battle if need be. And now we see two middle points here. Lightning bomb onto Varus, but will be dodged away. Dahaka going to need some help here. Phase shift in from Brightwing, will be stunned against the wall by Dami. First kill going over to the Unstoppabros. Looking now for Gauss. She has another throw. Used it onto the Blaze. Bunker used before the stun. Going to get pulled out as well by Lucas. Loads of damage onto Gauss, but not going to go down just yet. Zephyro digging into the bottom here, trying to find the capture. Just going to be matched by Diablo though, who's taking a bit of damage. Spark is here as well. They might try and find a kill, but in the meantime, kills are still going the way of the Unstoppabros as Outrageous falls. And now a bit of an overstep perhaps here. Diablo will fall. We're not seeing an engage from Varus though, so right, we're going to phase shift in and we're back to a 4v4 scenario. It'll be a long time before either of the tanks are here, so looking out to poke, and Sergeant Hammer and Lee Valor can do a good job of that one. Blaze not finding the charge. Zephyro has some movement speed, might be looking for a play. Spark is doing so much damage with these autos. Going to push the Unstoppabros away, and it will be one capture in favour of both teams. Advantage to the KittyKats though because of the stolen fort. 10 points ahead now in the core health. Good news for Unstoppabros is that they will be getting their fort back now. Sappers taken by the Cats, and they're looking at the steal here. Recall from Andrew, and I wonder if they noticed and decided that they're comfortable with this play. Outrageous, zoning away Dami. There won't be a fight for the Sappers, but this is 6 Sappers now coming into the fort. Will Diablo try and stun one of them again like last time? Not seeing that play just yet. All 6 are going to connect, and Knight can probably just finish off like last time. Luke is going to face tank to try and prevent this. Not good for Anduin's health though. And it does like we're seeing a full Q build here from Li Ming, trying to presumably land these magic missiles onto, well, both the Sergeant Hammer as well as the kill target from Outrageous and Sky. A lot of damage on the magic missile with both Seeker and the, what's it called, Mirror Ball. Spark looking for a Dragon Arrow, will find it onto the Sergeant Hammer as well as Gauss. Following up with his stun, throw now onto Diablo, and Dami gonna get pulled but not to safety. Will go down. 2 pulls were used it looks like, because with the Faith taken and still on cooldown. Didn't see where the first one went. Maybe onto Murloc. Objective going to keep going the way of the KittyKats now. 9 health remaining on the red team core. They just making a move towards the mid fort now. One other benefit of his Li Ming build actually is magic missiles normally not the greatest at hitting structures, but Seeker damage not reduced against the forts, and with a middle as well, Li Ming could do a hell of a lot of damage to the forts. They might look to do some 7-cap shenanigans if given a chance. Red team moving back to take their fort, but Outrageous on a bit of a flank here. It's not been spotted by the red team. Damage going to... I don't know if spotted or not. Looks like not, because they're not playing around it. Lucas walking up maybe into the Garrosh. Dragon Arrow finds Sergeant Hammer. No Unstoppable. Here comes Garrosh and just deleted by Li Ming. Now looking for more maybe. Stunned by Blaze onto the Garrosh. A huge drag by Sephiroth onto Valor. Pull once again, not going to take her to safety. 2 more kills going the way of the KittyKats. And how much can you get from this? Because both Sapper camps are up, and along with the next ulti that would be enough to end the game. Boss also available. There's quite a bit of ways that the Cats can look to end this game. We'll see what happens, and if we get a defense from the Unstoppabros, but Hammer only just about to respawn. Valor's still a bit away. Looks very difficult to defend the mid fort, and the question is what's going to happen with these sappers. First all have arrived now. Dammy trying to buy some time, going to push Garrosh into the death area, but death is only going to find Diablos. Li Ming, last cannon coming in clutch there, enough disintegrate damage to find the kill onto Anduin. Dragon Arrow on Murloc, no siege tactics available. Spark finishing off with the scatter. And that's another way the Sappers connecting, only for ulti required to end the game. It's a 3v5 though for the Unstoppabros, as so much damage onto Varus will be taken out by Hanzo. Lightning Breath not going to finish off Li Ming in time. It's just a double kill for Sky. 1 more for Spark, and that's going to be the end of game number 1. Towers of Doom. KittyKat Crusaders, very nice showing from them. Dealing with the Savage Hammer pick, not afraid of it at all in the draft. And they did a really good job in game of dealing with it. Gleaming pick at the end there with the Magic Missile build. Huge burst damage from this pick. You often see all build against these pesky tanks, but no. Wants to go for Q build. Also, as well as being good at the long range poke, can deal with Garrosh throwing enemies next to her. Easy to connect with all those magic missiles. A Spark for one that dealt the most damage in this game with the auto attack build. So many free hits onto the Diablo and Blaze. Very quickly getting through it. We do see sharpened arrowheads at level 7, amplifying the team's damage as well. So, bit of a team player is Spark, despite having all the damage of the team as well. Nicely done by them. Next map is going to be Unstoppabros opting for the first pick, looking to see now what the map is from the KittyKats. And looks like they're still thinking about it, so I'll throw it over to a quick break, and when I come back it will be game number 2 between the teams. Okay, welcome back everyone. KittyKat Crusaders taking the first map in the series. Unstoppabros opting for the map pick afterwards, and so next up will be Infernal Shrines, chosen by the KittyKats. Both these teams having a preference for Mephisto. Could very well see hero first picked if left open by the Unstoppabros. Expectation. We did see Mephisto banned on Towers of Doom by the Cats. Could see the same thing happening here again. What I want to know is what's going to be the change up here by the Unstoppabros. Game number 1, they got their Valor, they got their Sergeant Hammer, it didn't work. That trick has been shut down. I'm guessing Mephisto will be banned, so that trick will be shut down. So I'm looking to see what more they have in the tank, because it looked very much in favour of the Cats, really the whole game, on Towers of Doom. Could see them opt for more of a pick blow up style instead. Definitely, when you look at Heroes of the Storm drafts, easiest thing to do. One of the things you often see new teams try and do in high alerts is everyone's like, alright, we're a bit dumb. We don't know how to play macro. We don't know what we all like to do. Let's just kill people. And you see them go for gouge play comps. You go for murder and comps. You can even go for stitches comps. Just anything nice and simple. Everyone on the same page. See a guy and kill that guy. Of course, Infernal Shrines, you don't have to be so straightforward. You can look for full-on team fight comps around the objective. You can look for some split push shenanigans. Or you can do what the Vinland Raiders did yesterday on this map. If you missed that cast, you can check out the VOD on YouTube soon. But basically, they just went in with complete map control from the start. Other team going for a bit of a team fight on the point comp, but never really got to play it because they were at a deficit the whole time, both in XP and in terms of the map pressure. So lots of options you can go for. As we go now into draft number 2. Are we going to see Chromiban again? Nope. Hanzo from Spark will be removed. Unstoppabros have had enough of that one. Stukov remaining banned by the Cats. What will happen to Mephisto? Someone has to pick up Atlas Hero. Both of these teams salivating, surely, to get their hands on Mephisto. Holger will be the ban away, another one you see on this map, and there we go. Same bans from the KittyKat, Stukov, Mephisto on lockdown. Luke is going to take a Brightwing as the first pick here. Gaush going to be picked very early now by Outrageous, along with Anduin, so we do see a similar theme, at least so far, from the KittyKats. A few places they can go from this actually. The Gaush has almost suspiciously early pick. No, it looks like the Unstoppabros, they think they've figured out the problem last game. There was the Hanzo Dragonos that was setting everything up, and it was Brightwing with the polymorphs and the movement speed on Garrosh. So they're happy to run back with Sergeant Hammer, going to pick her even earlier in this game. One thing we could see from the KittyKat is Medivh can be very spooky alongside Garrosh. Makes it very difficult to position as Murloc. Recently buffed on the Mage Armor talent was Medivh, but I think it's a bit of a placebo buff as Raven Familiar still I'm expecting to be more prevalent. see if that ends up happening. Tychus will be banned once again. They are not interested in having Tychus to shred through that Diablo. Komi and Val are going to be the two pickups for the KittyKats here. Komi classic answer to Sergeant Hammer, not banned this time, instead getting rid of Sparks Hanzo. And Vala, see what we're able to do with it. No, not opting in to the Genji Light Bomb tech. Instead it will be Genji picked for the Unstoppabros as well as Jurel. Nice defensive offlaner to try and create some space for Murloc. Are we going to see something exciting here as a last pick? There's a few options you could look for if you felt that way. Alternatively, you can just play it safe with the Haka or Deathwing. Zephyr does play a bit of a Deathwing, did do so in their first match. Was also on the Fellow Shines actually. Was Only Knights playing Deathwing that game, so now it's Zephyro. Back what I said before. New Deathwing player, 2 Deathwing players on one team. I absolutely love to see this. And once again, the goal here has to be to annoy the crap out of this Sergeant Hammer. Probably not seeing the melee Deathwing build, but some people do swear by it. One thing to look out for is playing this Deathwing into the Genji. We'll see how this goes though. It's game number 2, Infernal Shrines. Blue team, KittyKat Crusaders 1-0 up at the moment. Spark will be playing Vala, Sky will be Anduin, Only Knight playing Chromie, Outrageous once again on the Garrosh, and Sephiroth will be playing Deathwing. Red team, Super Unstoppabros. Lucas will be playing Brightwing. That's a nice set you've got there. Dammy once again on Diablo. Murloc also running back with the Sergeant Hammer. Varus will be playing Yrel and Sid playing Genji. Swift does the win for level 1 town for Genji. You don't see this one too much these days. With how silly long the Cyber agility cooldown is. 20 seconds when you don't have the Agile dismount. Sephiroth just taking full control of the mid lane at the moment. Not seeing any sign of a contest by the Unstoppabros. With this sort of this sort of a team comp, they really do need to wait for that level 7 Sergeant Hammer the hover before they can do anything. Genji certainly cannot kill the Garrosh, and quite hard to play with Sergeant Hammer against some of these heroes. Says time drop onto the Yrel, going to get thrown into an Anduin route. Phase shift there to prevent any further action, but probably alright was that Yrel. In the meantime, Sephiroth clearing the top lane, went through all of the charge there. Going to be okay though, as both teams looking to start up their null camps. Impalers rather, I suppose the word would be. Going to be taken first by Unstoppabros, who look like they might want to go towards this bottom camp. Murloc sieging up not in range of the range minions, so they might need to take a bit of time to clear this one out. Meantime, Sephiroth getting to work on the Impalers. No sign of contest at the moment by Yrel, as both teams are posturing around this bottom camp here. Are they just going to move up and start zoning away? Swift Strike used by Sid. With Varus in the top lane, it looks like concession by the Unstoppabros on this one. I do remember seeing something about this. Strike of the Heart has a rather interesting tooltip at the moment. And the question really is, do you want this to be the new reading of the talent? You can't actually see it on the interface. I'll take that one down for just a moment. Enemies hit by the Angel Swift Strike take a lot of damage after a very long time. Yeah. Eventually, you will kill anything. Unless Medivh's on your team, I suppose. In any case, it will be bruiser camps taken by both teams. First captured by the KittyKat. Holding it deliberately are the Unstoppabros. Could set up for an easy defense. They're really waiting on this one. Want to absolutely ensure the wave is pushing into them. I do like the idea behind it, but just giving Spark time on the point. Has gone for auto attack build. Only 4 hits so far, but Div2 is still able to let this Vala work reasonably quickly on the point. Also, their setup with a Chromie time traps might be difficult for the Unstoppabros to get in on this one. 44 at the moment, both offlaners in the bottom, no sign of Deathwing using the flight. Outrageous, throws in Demi, phase shift will be used, going to be okay for now. That time trap has been spotted by Murloc, going to be shot to pieces. 20 points at the moment for the Cats, as now offlaners are moving up, both teams with their level centers as well, which means hover for Sergeant Hammer. Finally ready to play the game are the Unstoppabros. Let's see what they can get done now. Genji on the time trap, but Groundbreaker not going to connect. And that's a very fast UL with her hammer, as is what happens from level 7 onwards. As here comes Deathwing, flying in with the Cataclysm, going to split everyone. Big damage on Sergeant Hammer, going to be the first one going down. UL looking for the knockback, finds Chromie, but pull out will prevent the damage from Diablo. Going to be taken out. 2 kills for the Cats. Temporal loop onto the UL, into the Fire Breath as well, as that's a 3rd kill for the KittyKats. Full level lead as well to them, so very nice play so far. I do think they got a huge amount out of having their first camp though. We saw the Unstoppabros holding it for the easier defense, but when you're playing these heroes like Junkrat and Chromie, they need to set up and have their cooldowns replenish. Giving over the early Shrine Control might not be worth it. Punisher now moving on to the fort. They're doing big damage again onto Dami. Really having a miserable time so far as Diablo in the series. Punisher jump once again. Genji going to be alright. Top lane fort might not be though. Spark trying to finish it off and will do so. Full level lead now for the KittyKat Crusaders. Level 10 hit. Looking to see Garish opts for the taunt this time. We have already seen, of course, the temporal loop from Chromie. Deathwing opting for a Cataclysm upgrade with the level 10 choice. Not going for Fear this game. Perhaps thinking it might be difficult to connect it onto Genji, and Sergeant Hammer maybe a bit far back anyway for Zephyr to find much. It is, by the way, Death Drop at level 7 for the Deathwing, so could be looking to land on the Sergeant Hammer maybe with this one. Not the usual build we see here, but working quite well for them so far. Just moving on to the bottom camp now are KittyKats. Lucas stepping up a little bit far here, and that's a lot of heroics used, maybe more than they needed to. Just making sure that there was no chance of a blink out though. You can understand why, and that's going to be a kill onto Brightwing. Now we're looking for Genji, but he has Reflect. He can't Reflect through stuns though. There's so many stuns there. Garrosh and Valen, I think I saw Anduin route as well. Nice coordination by the KittyKats on all of their plays, making sure that the kill target goes down. And now their reward will be the bottom fort, going to be completely given up. Zephyr in the meantime getting good damage on the mid as well, with a stacking wave. 2.5 forts already down at 7 minutes is a very good showing for our blue team. Recall from only note for some mana. Is camp going to be started now by Spark? Do need to watch for the mana, but Healing Fountain is available if need be. We're seeing the early cap this time by the Unstoppabros on the Shaman camp. Looks like it'll be Sky and Oni Nice moving up to take the blue team's Shaman camps. Spark going to help out as well. Level 13s will be hit for KittyKat ahead of the second objective. Notably, a full level away are the Unstoppabros, so they might just have to take this next objective down a talent here. Keep already gone, they don't really want to give up the Punisher, but maybe they need to. And here we are again, Oni Knight setting up, starting the cooldown for this time trap already. It is armor at level 2 for the Chromie, not the extra charges, so extra important to set up early on the point. Able to do so, of course. And here we are. It is going to be no contest on the objective by the Unstoppabros. Instead, looking for Genji. Can Sid find a body block? Dami trying to find it with a fancy little charge there, but not quite able to block off the Deathwing. Will survive. Not much of a counterpunch there by the red team, as now Punisher in hand is going to be pushing by the KittyKats. Going to grab the siege camp as well. Perhaps looking to get the mid fort as well with some sideline pressure. So now we're moving down though. I like this, they're paying very good respect to the bush until Oni Knight stepped up, but I suppose with all that those people from their team around, they don't need to be scared of it. Sid's going to pull the Punisher back onto the keep, and we're getting pretty good damage onto it. Shingen level 13 helping Genji with the single target damage. Lucas going to be looped, looking to see if there's a follow-up here. Taunt by Garrosh and so much damage by Crowley. Lucas goes down again. Mid fort falls. Not too much damage on the keep. Taken down to half. Could have been a lot worse, but there's a pretty severe XP deficit building now between the teams. 2 level advantage almost for the KittyKats. Quite disciplined this game, giving over 0 kills back to them, no comeback XP yet, as Dami's big on the flank, they might be getting some kills now. Anduin stunned up by Dami, looking for a play now. Are the Unstoppabros throw out straight into the BFG of Murloc. That will be first kill going over to Unstoppabros. Looking for another on Outrageous, but not quite able to finish off Garrosh. Not particularly level 16 out yet, now going for the Earthshaker. Sid, Wushingen can be a threat to this Garrosh at low health. Out of healer, they might just want to play back the KittyKats. In the meantime, actually cancelling the recall is Yrel, as this split push is not stopping by Sephiroth. Yrel not really able to offer any kill threat onto Deathwing, so there's going to be a wall going over 4-3 almost. Siege camp, in the meantime, not doing quite as much. Another kill onto right wing. Missed that one unfortunately, but I'm guessing Garrosh just walked up, found the taunt, found some stuns, and it was an easy kill for Spark. Only good thing for the Unstoppabros is there's quite a long cooldown between the objectives this time. It's a little bit random what the timer is, so they have got enough time to try and reach level 16 before the next objective. Seeing a bit of a siege now onto the fort. Time Trap not in range of the fort. Spark's just going to tank up with a lifesteal. We do see Varus on the flank here, but they're not level 16 yet. Not committing without it are the Unstoppabros. One thing to look out for as well, they will be hitting level 16. Chromie's going to hit level 18, so we are going to see Storm talent for her. I'm expecting it to be the double loop. We've seen even just single loop being a bit of a menace. Double loop will absolutely make sure that right wing or whoever it is cannot get away. Holding on to it at the moment, and it's going to go for Piercing Sands. They're confident with their blow up. They don't need any more tools. They just need more damage. They just want more reliability fighting around the objective. Completely understandable. As the way is being cleared out, we'll see what happens. We do see from Right Wing the phase out, maybe trying to deal with these taunts and looks outrageous here. Damage gonna be thrown in at the moment. Phase shift will come in to survive at the moment. Light bomb finds 2 and not able to get on top of him yet are the Unstoppabros. As Venus looking for a play onto Gauch. Cataclysm onto Sergeant Hammer. Gonna need to move away from that one. Loop used by Urel. Dami brought in by the loop, taken out, timeout by the Komi as Genji X-Strike are not going to do enough. Sephiroth getting good damage onto the Sergeant Hammer with the Flame Breath there. And that's 1 kill going the way of a KittyKat this time. Outrageous trying to zone everyone away. Bright Wing nearly stepping up into danger once again. Outrageous, a big throw there onto Dami. Phase Shift trying to save the day. Will finish, but there's just too much damage available for them. Boosters will be used by the Hammer, getting away from Outrageous. As the Punisher will go over once again to our blue team. Level 20 on the horizon. Oni Knight looking to push for top lane. In the meantime, they need to find level 20 before this push. There's XP in the bottom lane, but Sephiroth taking the camp instead offers a little XP, I suppose. Wall here might be enough to finish the job. Sid's going to bait out the jump with a Swift Strike. Going to not be stunned by that one. Once again, there's good damage by the red team onto this Punisher, but they're going to really struggle against the blue team. Farfetch Quiver, now finished by Vala, going to be so difficult for them to get on top of. Stepping up now a bit is outrageous, but they're looking just for a keep at the moment. Fly used by Sephiroth. It's on vision though, so everyone clears house from the Unstoppabros. Moving now onto the core potentially. Spark, so much range with Vala, it's difficult for Milk to play against at this point in the game. Core health will be starting to fall. Shield is depleted. Sid taking big damage now, going to need to fall back. Luca not able to reach with the healing at the moment, so this Genji is very low health. Loop onto Dami, going to be needing Soul Shield. Gets it off in time and will survive. Taunt used by Outrageous. Light Bomb as well connecting. X-Strike, and now they're looking for Plant Anduin. Stunned up against the wall by Dami, and that will be the first kill of the fight. Going the way of the Unstoppabros, but how much will it cost them? It's going to be 2 at the moment for Spark, as now Sid's going to fall as well. Lucas may be in trouble. Phase out will buy a little time, but will be the full team wipe for the KittyKats, as they're going to finish off game number 2. Take the series in a 2-0 fashion. Another strong showing by the KittyKats in game number 2, showing that they are the masters of this dealing with this Sergeant Hammer pick. Once again, not quite able to do what the Unstoppabros were hoping for. 15 kills to 2. Really does tell the man of the story. I like the Deathwing pick, actually, as the last pick. We did see on one of the objectives down a talent tier with the Unstoppabros, trying to find a cross-map kill onto Deathwing, try and get the 4v5 defense, minimize their losses, but so difficult to deal with this Deathwing if you can't body block him, and the Cataclysm just barely getting out to safety. Dami not able to block him off. Very nice and safe pick by them, and doing work in the team fights with the Cataclysm as well. So yeah, very well done by them.